During this mortgage crisis, there's a lot of landlords who are experiencing difficulties paying their mortgage, and obviously that's going to have a knock-on effect to tenants who need to obviously pay their rent. So I think what would be really important is if landlords could make sure that they've got really good credit, so that if they get really good credit, then they can get really favourable mortgages. And if they are really tenant focused, then if they can get really good mortgages that obviously doesn't have such high prices in terms of the amount of money they have to pay back, then hopefully they can not have to increase their rents as high as they do. So today we're going to be talking about how to get your credit rating to a really high level, a really good credit rating as quickly as possible, to enable you to get really good credit so you can get the best favorable rates. Let's go. The first thing is to close your old bank accounts. Obviously, having a really good bank account that you've had for a long time is great, but if you're not using bank accounts and you're not using any credit cards anymore or any savings accounts, close them down, because the lenders will see that as you having lots of available credit on your profile which you are not using, and having lots of available credit will then assume that at some point you're going to use it. Therefore, the mortgage brokers will not want to give you any more credit. You need to cut ties with your previous partners. Now, regardless of the relationship you have with your partners, if you're no longer in a relationship with that partner, whether that's business or whether that's romantically, you need to make sure that you no longer have a connection with them with regards to your bank accounts. So that could be your bank accounts, your insurances, your mobile phones, whatever financial connection you have with your previous partner, whether business or romantically, you need to cut them, especially if their credit isn't very good. If they have really good credit, then that could obviously benefit you, which will be wonderful. But I'm assuming if you're no longer with this person anymore, then they may not want you to affect their credit. So if their credit is great and they don't mind you being connected, then please remain. But if their credit is not good and you're obviously trying to improve your credit score, then you need to make sure you close all of those accounts, or at least remove your names from those joint accounts. I hope you're getting some tips and hints from today's video. I'd really appreciate it if you would subscribe and give this video a thumbs up, because that will let other people know that this video is very valuable and will potentially help them in their journey to getting really good credit. So please subscribe and put a thumbs up for this video. If you have a credit card, ensure that you pay off in full or at least on time. With regards to any of the debts that you have, you need to make sure that if possible you can pay them all off on the due date, or you pay them on time. This will show that you are a responsible person who can have credit, so therefore you look really good in the eyes of the person who's giving you credit, or shall I say the company that's giving you credit. So as much as possible, it's not always possible to obviously pay off all your debt, but if you can, ensure you pay it off in full, especially your credit cards. Checking your credit report, ideally on a monthly basis, is a very good idea, because this will pick up any errors or anything that's actually in your credit report. It will also show you what your credit score is at that precise moment. And obviously, if you sign up to a specific company, I recommend check your file. It's very good. It gives you at least access to 4 different credit report companies, and then you can see across the board what your credit score looks like. And obviously, if you're subscribed to this company specifically, if anything changes in your credit file, they'll send you an email and they'll let you know, so you can literally log in and look at your credit report. What is wonderful is on a monthly basis you'll have a report which is pulled off, which has all of the credit companies available, and it will give you all the information. It will tell you where you live, it will give you information about all the credits you have. Sometimes people have CCJs and they don't even realize I've had CCJs. I've worked at a management company before, property management company, and we've had tenant reports conducting tenant referencing, and we've had tenants have had CCJs and they didn't even know they had them. So definitely pulling off your credit report on a monthly basis is very, very beneficial. When you've pulled off your reports, you need to check for errors. It is very important that you get everything correct on your credit file, because obviously this is what is going to be used when the mortgage providers look at your credit file. They want to see that you live in the right place, that the information is correct, that there's no incorrect information. So when you do discover something is not correct on your credit file, then immediately you need to go and get that corrected. Go to whichever person or whichever company has got the incorrect information and make sure you inform them and see if you can update your credit file with the correct information. When you're checking your information, ensure your name and your address listed on all four of those credit companies is correct. If you've been recently married, or you've been recently divorced, or you've had your name changed by default, ensure all credit files have your correct name spelt correctly with your middle names included. Some credit report files will have some of your middle names, other credit report files will not have your middle names. It always is easier if all four credit files, or however many credit files there are available, but with Check My File is 4 credit file companies, ensure that your name is the same across all. And if you are a Miss, Mrs, Doctor, whichever your formative title, ensure that is correct across all of them as well, because when you're getting your mortgage your mortgage in principle, or getting a remortgage, they're going to look at your credit file and make sure that the name matches. I still hope you're getting lots of value from today's video. Haven't got much more to go, so please give this video a thumbs up if you haven't already. I'd really appreciate it. So the next one is, don't max out your credit cards and all available credit. If you have available overdraft and you have credit cards and you have loans, don't max out absolutely everything, because the mortgage lender will not obviously lend you any more money. What they'll do is they'll see your ratio to loans, to the amount of credit that's available. If they see that you've got the most amount of credit that is available, they're not going to give you any more. Or if they do give you more, what they'll do is they'll reduce the amount that they'll give you based on the amount of money that you already owe. So as much as you can, make sure you pay off your debts and don't max out your credit availability. If you do discover a CCJ on your credit file and you were not aware of it, ensure that you go back to the company who put the CCJ on your account in the first place. Find out what the issue is and how you can go about setting up a payment plan. If you were aware that you had a CCJ, then please ensure that you do have a payment plan, and if you can pay it off, then please ensure that you pay it off and you update your credit file that this has been resolved and it's no longer an issue. As a landlord or property investor, you most likely have a home of your own and you're probably not necessarily moving around too much, because when it comes to obtaining a buy-to-let mortgage or obtaining any other credit, creditors like to ensure that the person they're lending money to is in a stable environment, as in they're not constantly moving from place to place. So if you are able to stay in the same environment, as in stay in the same address that is on your credit file for over 3 years, then that looks very good in terms of being able to give you credit. If you have lots of different addresses, that's not necessarily a problem. Just make sure they're all updated on your credit file, on all 4 credit files, and make sure that the information is definitely correct and valid, because these is very important to the credit lenders, because they want to make sure that you're not going to just run from one place and run to another and they can't find you if they obviously need to get their money back. Stay in the same environment. Thank you so much for watching. Please continue watching more videos, as I have so much more to share. Thank you so much. Bye bye.